Rightio, we are back in business. We're going to do the mixdown today. I've made a few more adjustments because I sent it to my producer peers for some feedback, and the main feedback was, this is fucking sick, Sam, best song in the world. No, the main feedback was great track. The few synths are a bit too loud, and I knew that going in because I added this more distortion to this noise here. Let's put on the headphones and start, because I added a bit of distortion to this. Sorry. It obviously raised the volume of it through the track, so got to automate these to be a little higher. Mari, name drop. Oh, you know Mari, Sam? Yeah, me and her, I guess. No, you know, she, good old gal she is. Amazing producer. But I sent her the track and she gave me some voice notes, some more useful than others, if you're watching this. No, you know, like you got to be, when you for you people learning out there, when you ask for feedback off your friends, you don't have to listen to everything they say, because obviously they're going to not understand the vision that you trying to push out with this song, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the feedback they say or anything. It's just like, you know, there's 1,000 ways to, you know, do a song, but this is the way I've done this song, you know. So she said, I think this was too loud, you know. I don't think it is. I actually think I want it that loud so that it's let's try it louder. Hang on, in my headphones. Okay, it's a tiny bit too loud. Not much though, I wouldn't say. Because I wanted to dance with this, you know, and it's all meant to be in context. So Techno and Mar said the drop was too spacious. And, you know, they didn't say those exact words, but that's what I got the gist of it. They were like, oh, could you add in a synth here to kind of call and response the this, you know. So I've done that. I've added in this synth, you know, now this needs to be mixed in properly. It's not being, I've just chucked it in at the moment, but instead of that and then being too much space, we've now got a it's not perfect. I would like to have, like, if I mean it, in the dream world where Enrico was like, this is sick, I'll send you the files, I would change this. There's way too much like a fade on here. I'd like to actually have and I mean I could change that with some like volume automation, I guess. Let's have a Gandhi here. So a little tip you can do. So sometimes you'll see throughout this track I've got areas where I'm let's see here, you can see I've split these into multiple different clips, but this is just one big clip. But what I've done instead is I've turned this off and on up here, and what that allows me to do, the reason why I did this was this, so I wanted to volume automate all of these without actually going around and changing each sample. It doesn't take too long, but I've done it now, so I can mess around with all the other ones. So what we're going to do is to try and even out the here, what we can do, you can either automate this volume lower, so by comparison this is higher, and then, you know, do that. You could put a limiter on there which would kind of force it to be fat. You're not going to really completely get rid of that like swell, because some of that swell I think is an EQ maybe. Let's have another listen coming in. Maybe not. Maybe we can force it. It would be, I'd be surprised if we can. Do you know what? Let's duplicate it. Let's just experiment a bit. We're going to get rid of all of these. Chuck that at the start. We're going to get rid of the reverb. Freeze and flatten it to get a look at the thing. Because we've added a lot of distortion, I would expect it to. So it's a bit better. But let's try and help this even more. we'll add a clipper on there. So we can avoid, you can see where it's rising up. If we do that. Why is there, I can hear that. Where is this? Is a reverb on here? Is there? Where's that coming from? Oh, never mind. This is the reverb on the master bus. Silly me. Cool. So we'll chuck this down by here now, and let's see which one sounds better. So chuck that there. Obviously, we need to add the delays back on, the reverb back on. So you can see we've got away a bit of the swell there. You can kind of hear there's a bit more like of that, like sucking in there. Bit of the gluck there. Now, one way we could help this further is adding on some like transient to here. So you can see there's like, so we'd probably want to add like a, what have we got here? Are we using these? Yeah, we are. So let's try and add these here. So it's kind of like there. It's not quite right then. Get rid of that as well. Don't need that. We can tidy that up by just getting rid of that entirely. That's cleaner. Just want to get rid of that little clip at the start of that clip, tidying things up, you know. Cool. Right, let's now freeze and flatten this. Not freeze and flatten, sorry. Consolidate this into one clip. And now let's check against this. Sounds cleaner. Sounds great. There we go. So we can replace this now with that. We'll have to move any automation across. So F12, loop F12 again. There is another way to do this. So it's like Control Shift 3. No, Control Alt 3. I'm going to have to get used to doing that. Very annoying. It's part of Ableton's new update because you can bring the this up, but they changed. Like I used to use Control Alt L, I M B O, but M doesn't work anymore. B does that, I does that, so it's limbo basically. But you know, I don't know what I'm doing now. I'm trying to get back. Yeah. One of the annoying things though is that there used to be a button for the return tracks, right? Which is, you have to go to now View, Mixer, right? Arrangement Control, Tracks, Return Tracks. There used to be a button that you could press that would add that, and like track options used to have that. This is really good to have if you're doing like low-end kick design, because you can like offset kick subs by milliseconds after you've processed them to get them to line up better. I'll cover that in another video eventually. But anyway, let's get back to this. I'm just gonna get rid of it. But you know, this stuff used to be a button for it. It'd say like D there and R and all that. But now you've got to literally go into a menu for it. Not ideal. Control R though does that. So anyway, and the thing is, if you've got a shortcut for Control R to bring the return tracks up. Like, how often are you closing and opening your return tracks? You know, a button would have sufficed, like a tiny button. Because like Control R could be another shortcut to do something else, you know? Right. So there is a device on, and we haven't, yeah, we have got that over. That's cool then. So there's, you can still hear there's like a swish, and it's nothing to do with the waveform. It's there's like a swish in the sound itself, and we're not going to be able to get rid of that really without doing some really like moving some of these samples across here, you know. And it still has that swish in it. The swish is just baked in the sound really, so whatever. We'll ignore that for now. That's pretty good. That delay is annoying though, so we'll lower that. I do want something to fill in the noise, but let's just make it really like... Right, let's see what other notes we got. So we got that. So I've addressed that. Making notes is super effective, you know. Just look how quick I've just knocked this off, and we've been talking, you know. Knock that off. Hit a 40-second. Done. Techno Marseille, the drop's too spacious. Done. Me, vocal needs to be louder through the track. So this, you know, it's not quite punching through the mix as much as we'd like. So let's just pop up the volume, you know. Where is it? It's over here, isn't it? One thing as well, make sure you're if you've got any things on the master bus, like I've turned these off now, you know, when you're doing a mix down. So let's go. We brought this back. This needs to be louder. I like this little... Right, here was one thing I said comes in a bit too early. We can vocal needs to be louder. We'll keep that there for now because we're still mixing, listening. Vocal comes in too fast at 133. Oh yeah, never mind. I don't think I need this here, actually. It's a weird thing to have this just in these 3 sections. So we'll move it down, or we'll move it. It's got to be something like a bit more. So. So why is there a doubling up of things here? Let's have a look. Also, Mari said something about adding maybe an ARP in. So I just currently added in this ARP. Kind of overpowers the mix a little bit, I'm thinking, now that I'm listening to it in the headphones. On my speakers, it didn't sound so bad, but trying to hit a compromise between listening in my speakers and listening in the headphones, you know, because the true answer is obviously somewhere in between. So they both kind of work, but it's about what sounds better in the context of the track, and I think maybe not having it is probably better. Because it sells the impact of this a bit more. By having it, it's busier. And maybe, so the way I've done this, if you don't know, is you just get an arpeggiator, put the notes you want in, put it to milliseconds instead of notes, and then just automate this to ridiculously quick to slow, you know? But if we make this a bit slower, again, let's but we'll do that again just to have a callback. So, and what I did, I just did an automation here, a low cut going down with quite a high Q, and you get this nice like pulling effect, you know. So just double checking all the automations the same, kind of. That's fine. So the next point was in the breakdown, the low pad, which is this. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? Is that in the wrong key? No. So what I'm doing by removing the lows in here is creating, like, if you have the lows in here, great, amazing power delivery on the breakdown, and you get this huge impactful sound that really kind of like sells it to you, that you're like, wow, draws your attention in. But the problem is having that the entire length of a breakdown, what that does is makes it less of a contrast between that and the big drop. So by removing a bit more of the lows before it comes in, I get a cleaner sound, and then in turn more contrast when the drop happens. Boom, boom, boom. Especially because we've got this kick roll, you know, that comes in where it goes like, you know, it's going to be difficult to get the contrast in because well, I've got the kick there in it. So if I remove it a bit earlier, at least I'll have a little bit more contrast here before when the kick comes in. And then, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to make do with what we got, really. So let's go. So I've also said in here, remove the low pad earlier. Bosh, get rid of that. Sorry, get rid of that. What is going on? Right, okay, that. Vocals get quiet, especially in the second half, and bring up the original pad, track 50, which is actually track 49 because I've deleted a track, and 85, which should be kind of 84 or something like that. So it's talking about bringing this up. So what we do, we can remove some of the lows from this to, bring back in some of the lows. I think that is just by there, yeah. So we'll just turn this one on here for that. Cool. I'm just checking the transition to see if it goes in well. We do need to raise this up at that point. Right, back to what we're doing, the vocal in here. So So I've kind of added this in as a like bung bunk bung, which is meant to line up with this. So what I've done, I'm going to chuck these in a group, regroup these to a different green, grab this down here, grab the EQ for this and chuck it in this group because I don't want that EQ'd by the same thing. So So what I'm going to add this in. Because you can hear it in here, in this little thing, and I'd like to maybe make it a little bit louder. Cool. Cool. I'm just going to have a look at the audio content here. So a good way to check if you've got any lows or anything in your breakdown that you could clean up is go to the top bus, which is my synth bus. You can solo it, you don't really have to solo it in this instance, but then just go through it and check if there's any low information you can get rid of. A little bit. And just remember that, what's that? 275, to copy and paste it, undo what you've done, and then put that on. So it's not normally on here, but we're going to put it on. Now in the mixing stage, you don't want to like change, you don't want to be like changing settings without doing it on purpose. So I'm going to turn that on and off. But then we're going to grab this show automation, copy and paste it, because we know that's where we want it to go. So luckily, the little stab here is not in that, it's in this. So we can actually cut everything from here as soon as that stab plays. So, which is there. So what you can do is grab this and just put a point there, cut that like that, chuck it back in. So what we're getting now is really, there is no audio content bar that thing. So any of the delays we got on here, we don't have to automate them. They can just be gone. So they won't be, but because I've soloed it, it's ignoring this. Sorry. There's no real way to check this without actually like disabling all these, but you just have to realize that it works. So if you check here now, you'll be able to see the things. They're still there, but if I unsolo this, you'll notice they'll just go. There we go. So we're trying to match these two together now so that they're of the same level, or at least they sound similar enough. So I'm just going to open my audio loudness meter, Lean. It's quite a good tool, free. I bought the Pro. Don't bother unless you're doing like sound design, sound stuff for radios and like productions and like stuff like that. Spotify, you don't really need to know that. You can get it online tools, but like Netflix, you know, Disney and all that shit. So don't bother unless you need it for that. So as you can see, we're down here, the peak at minus 12.2. So we just call that minus 12. And up here, we're at minus 7, right? Really, pretty much. So a little zoom in. Can't zoom in. Amazing. A lovely tool. Great, mate. So we're talking about minus 7, let's say. Yeah, minus 7, minus 8 maybe. And right here, minus 10. Okay, so just add that to it. Now, it's obviously about how it actually sounds and not how you're going to measure it, but this can be a good indicator of roughly the ballpark you kind of probably will end up doing. So we'll just do that here, and then we'll just have a listen. Probably a little bit too loud. Let's put it down to 1. I want a transient on there, so I'm going to add analog and do my usual transient thing just to kind of like add something snappiness. Probably a bit too much release on that, and it's not quite right. It's hard to judge where this sound is coming from. So what I could do, how many milliseconds is that? That is 28 milliseconds. So what I could do is add 28 milliseconds of attack to this. So just do, and then that should land on the right hit. But here, I'll automate it to be, 0.02 then. And then just go up till 8. And then we'll just automate it to be back to 0 for that, because I think that's hitting properly on the time. So just do it like that though. That's probably not an accurate indicator, really. That is probably over there, to be honest, because I forgot we've edited the clip, haven't we? Oh, that's going to be awful to try and work out. It's probably 100, maybe. I don't know. Let's just experiment. Cool, 100. Let's just go there. So re-enable, then just go right-click, edit value, 100. Oh, fuck's sake. The normal ones don't do this. A lot of the other things know that 100 means 100 milliseconds. That sounds better. You can hear it. Right. And we'll add a little bit of reverb to this just to help it fit in a little bit more. Add a little bit of stereo to it as well. There was also an issue right at the end of the track where the bass didn't last as long as the rest of it. So what we do is just going to drag these out till we have what we have there. And in the outro, we'll just keep this going because that'll be a cool loop for a DJ to loop in. So just keep it all there. You know, having this looped in at the start or the end is just a really good tool to allow a DJ to just like mix in something and then it sounds good in the next track. It's super simple. As in like, the idea of the loop is simple. It's just a pluck. If you have something too complicated, remove it because it'll just confuse the next track. But having something like this can really like help. You know. But maybe this should be a bit without the kick. Nah. We'll lower it maybe. And then at the end of our track, we'll have copy and paste that, grab that there. And then, sorry, grab that again and just chuck it across like that. And then grab these. I just added a bit of automation on a filter. You can see it here. Where's a good place to show it? Here. You can see round here. I've automated this just to give it a bit of movement. So as it's going through, it's going up, you can see. So if you listen to it, it just allows the sound to have a bit more aliveness to it, you know. So we've done this now. We've done that. We've boshed. We've done this. Vocals louder. Yada yada yada. Re-EQ. So we got to re-EQ the. Where is it? This thing. As it's going through the track. So we're just going to check these places. So. We're going to add these little helpers to that area just to add a bit of and maybe add these in here actually because we kind of want it to be a bit more like probably we want it to be less around here, to be honest, because this is so busy we don't really need this, but here fine. No, we don't need that there. If it's too busy to truly hear it, just get rid of it. I'm just moving it a bit time-wise to see if having it closer to here makes it hit better. maybe that does work. Oh, I don't know, because that's a tough one, that is. Okay, what we'll do, we'll leave that for now. I can make a few versions of that. Let's get Notepad back up. I could do that myself, listen to it a few times, but what we can do is to match these together. Let's loop these and then we can offset it by the same amount, just so that we have the right idea. So this part would have to be louder, I think. This little section needs just more bite. It just needs just more, you know? So we just add 2 dBs. And we just turn this off straight after. I don't think it sounds better like this, actually, now I listen to it. Even though it sounds like it's sucking in without it. Okay, that's fine. Right, we save this. I've saved, because I've changed a bit of the arrangement and stuff today, I will save it back as the, where are you? This as well. But this is still like, I cast this as still half Mixdown, half kind of like arranging things, just tidying things up. Now we're going to move to the Mixdown properly. Right then. Not properly, but you know what I mean. Let's just tidy things up, basically. Get rid of any unused tracks and channels you don't need, just to clean things up, make things a bit more organized. Color correct things and code. Do I need this? I don't need that. What's that doing? Don't need it. Get rid. I'm using this, am I? No. Get rid. Okay. That is percussion. Synths, am I using these 2 things? New. Delete. Just be careful when you do this, because you don't want to delete something you accidentally using that you didn't realize. So number 37 we're not using. Let's go through that we're not using. Delete. What's this? Yeah, I think we settled on this, not using it, didn't we? Yeah. Delete that. Right, we're on to this group. What is this? This is just a vocal group. Close that, close that, close that. Just as we're moving through here. That needs to be its own color. I can move that somewhere else. We're just going to keep it there, really, because it's doesn't need to be moved. Well, I mean, I'll put these above it. So this is the pad. Anything in here we're using, not using? Nope. Right click. Vocal group goes above. A little ARP. Not sure if are we using the ARP? Yeah, we are. Maybe we just made it a bit better. So what is this? What do we call this? Original theme. My spelling is terrible. Right. Are we using this? Yeah. We're going to group these two together. We'll call this like the theme pack or something, you know? Right, what is this? No, get rid of that. What's this? Colour that brown. Oh, take you to Brown Town. Right, that's all the synths done. So let's just go through here. Vital, what is this? So low drone. This is just square plucks. Yeah, just analog. I know what analog is. Oh, my voice just went. Right, let's see. Am I using that? Yeah, using that. I'm not using this or that. Delete. Right, there's a lot of layers, isn't there? There's a lot of layers in here for, you know, not that much stuff. So, you know, it's quite a simple track, really. This, oh shit, what did I just do? This is our like effect shots. I usually color this purple, so we're gonna go with purple. Sorry, that purple. Grab that, and then we'll just do effects shots. That would normally be, now looking back, that should be in our synth. That should be up here, you know? So what we'll do, just grab this, because that's the way you do this. You only move up into a different bus if like there's nothing going on in this bus. So right now, normally there's nothing going on. This standard clip is doing nothing to the volume. That's fine. This is at 0. Okay, that's fine. This is at 0, so nothing's changing here. We're safe. So, and this is at 0. Do you know what I mean? If you check, everything's level, and it's not changing as it's going into. So this could be -6. It wouldn't actually matter. But if this group is at -6 and that group's at 0, you would have to add on 6. No, you'd have to take away 6 again from your group so that it's the same equivalent as it goes up. You know. So we just chuck that into synths, and then get rid of that. Cool. Move it to the bottom of synths because that's where I keep things organized. And it's annoying putting things at the bottom, kind of takes it out when in reality I want it like just at the bottom of these. So, and these are just my texture groups now. So I think everything in the texture group is being used. This synth can also go up to here. And then, yeah, let's just double check that. That should be back down to normal, I think, by here. that can be louder, but we'll sort that out now. Right. It's been an hour, so I'm going to take a break, and then next session will be, we've prepped this now for the actual, like, let's get it loud as fuck Mixdown, and then we'll be ready to go. And then pretty much after that, put a limiter on there, and then we will be basically moving on to our next project, next song. I will keep you updated what happens with this. I'm going to send it to a few of my DJ friends, and I've got to send it to someone to send it to Enrico, because I don't know Enrico. I've never met him or talked to him, so I don't really have his contacts, but I know other people who have. So the idea is hopefully he'll enjoy this track and not think, you ever touch my stuff again, Sam Kitt, I'm going to come after you, and I'm going to take your soul, I'm going to take your music, and I'm going to blacklist you, and you'll never play again. Probably that won't happen, but you never know, you know. Anyway, could get a copyright strike, who knows? Probably not. I can imagine he's probably done an official remix in his time or not, you know. This is a homage anyway, you know. So sick. This track is cool as fuck. If you want this track, just let me know in the comments, and when it's released I'll make sure to update you with a link. Or if you follow me on my Instagram, I update that a little bit less than YouTube, but it's updated more with like DJ and stuff, and less like producer and stuff. It's just things that's happening in my life. Yeah, so, and then, you know, I'll put it on my story so I can put a link up. It'll be a free download, but it'll probably be gated to help spread the track, so you just got to like and share it basically to get the download. Yeah, hope you enjoyed, and once again, this has been Sam Kitt. See you later.